All right, ladies, we're having a candid conversation about women's sexual health. So sit back, send the kids to the other room, count down from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Kids are gone. Dr. Teresa Knight from Women's Health Specialist is back to share some information.
We're going from China to vagina today.
Yes, here we go, ladies. Are you ready? Don't be embarrassed, because this is all for real. The number one thing we want to talk about, we have about 5, try to get to all of them, is desire. Women are, even if you're at home, working in the home, or you're working outside of the home, there is stress. That's one of the things that affects desire, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's, desire is going to be the top of the list of things to go out the window when you're overworked, when you're not getting enough sleep, when you have a million things going on. You're just not going to give yourself time to go that direction because you need to be relaxed, you need to feel confident, and that's not going to happen. So actually, they did a survey not too long ago and showed nearly 50% of all women complain of decreased desire.
Was there an age when that was happening?
The actual study was in women under 60. So
Okay.
women under 60 complained, 50% of them complained of decreased desire.
I had a friend tell me, and a dear friend tell me, walk around the house with no clothes on. You need to be comfortable with your body.
You absolutely need to be comfortable with your body. If you're not fit, if you don't feel confident, you don't feel like you're taking good care of yourself, you're not going to want to get intimate with someone else.
And medications can have an impact on desire too.
Absolutely.
And that's something to talk to your doctor about.
And the one that may surprise you actually is birth control pills. And we talked about this before in that anything that's going to prevent you from ovulating is going to decrease those hormones that cause desire. So women who are taking medications that prevent ovulation, such as birth control pills, other medications that affect the cycle, that's going to decrease desire. And that's the same reason why perimenopausal women will have a decrease in desire, because they're not ovulating.
All right. And so you mentioned cycle. Let's talk about the visit from the friend. The little red box. It has a million names.
Oh, yes, Auntie, yes.
And most people don't count the days, but should we? And why should we?
Well, we should, because that can be our first indication that maybe things aren't going perfectly, that maybe our hormones are a little bit off. The average length is 28 days, but normal is anywhere...
From the first day?
From the first day of your
Okay,
period, which the first day of bleeding is day number 1.
Okay.
And average length is anywhere between, it's 28 days, but anywhere between 21 and 35 days is normal.
And we don't talk about it a lot. I don't think we talk about it enough. The flow, whether heavy or light, I take it especially heavy, is something to discuss, something to be concerned about.
Absolutely. So again, the average length of bleeding, of flow, is 7 days. That's the average length. On the heaviest day, you should have to change a tampon or a maxi pad no sooner than every 2 hours. And if you're filling those up, or if you have to use more than one product at the same time, then that's something that you really need to bring to the attention of your physician.
Okay, sex should not be painful.
That's exactly right. This is not something that you should have to endure because it's the right thing for your partner or your spouse. This is something that should be fun. This should be a way to be intimate with your partner.
And it should feel good.
And it should feel good. It's meant to feel good. And so if it's painful, there's something wrong. And vaginal dryness is a very, very common reason why it's painful. And that's something, again, that doesn't need to be endured and also is often not remedied by the over-the-counter products.
The fishy smell, ladies. Discharge is not normal. Hello.
Well, discharge is normal.
But the kind of discharge is what we need to focus on.
That's right.
Okay.
So sometimes, and throughout different periods of the month, depending on whether or not we're ovulating, if the vagina needs to clean itself, we'll have different kinds of discharge. It can be very thin and watery. It can be kind of thick and goopy. But if it smells fishy, itches, burns, stains the crotch of the underwear yellow, then that's not okay.
And you said the vagina's cleaning itself. There are 1,005 douches out there.
Don't use them.
At all?
At all. And the reason why is because if there is an infection, you're going to move it up higher. You can, theoretically, you could put that infection up inside the uterus, and you don't want to do that because that makes a bad situation worse.
Here is something we need to tell boys and girls today, that yes, you can get herpes from oral sex. It is not safe.
You know, and I'm seeing this in younger and younger women who are coming in who are not having sexual intercourse, but are being intimate and are giving and receiving oral sex and are coming in with horrible, horrible herpes outbreaks. And it goes back to the whole thing that if you're going to be abstinent, that means complete abstinence, that without abstinence that you can get sexually transmitted diseases, even with perfect use of condoms, just by body-to-body contact.
All right, and I'm sure there's some parents going, okay, now that you've brought up herpes, how do I talk to my kids about all of that? That is for another day. We will do that right here on Great Day St. Louis. Dr.
Let's
Knight,
do it.
always good to see you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, next it's science you never knew you could do at home. We're going to show you how to create a lab right in your own kitchen and keep your kids entertained while school is out. And there are fresh vegetables available. You don't have to rely on imports that are on hold right now. We have your guide to knowing what's in season and keeping the fridge fresh and full of nutrients. Coming up next.
Have a great day, St. Louis.